If you're caring for someone living with dementia and they are refusing to bathe, or they are giving you a hard time because they don't want to bathe. I'm from the South, so we say wash. They don't want to wash. So, a couple of things. Number one, do y'all know how many steps are involved in taking a bath or taking a shower? A lot of steps. Think about when you were a toddler, and I don't like to compare adults with dementia to toddlers or children because they're not, but it helps you to develop a mind frame as to how they're thinking because they think very concretely. I'm not saying they think like children, but they think very concretely. You ain't never want to take a bath when you were a child. I know I didn't. I used to sit in the tub and splash around the water so my mom and dad would think that I'm washing, but I really wasn't. But by the time I did all that, I could have just gotten in the tub and washed. But there are so many steps involved in taking a bath or taking a shower. They just don't want to do it. It's a whole job, right? So that's number one. They just don't want to do it. We know that they have to bathe at some point in time for good hygiene, to make sure that they're clean, to make sure that they're going to stay healthy, make sure they don't have any skin breakdown or rashes or decubiti. That's those ulcers. So they're going to have to bathe. Hygiene is very key. So one of the things that you can try, number one, is not trying to force them to bathe every day. They don't have to bathe every day because the goal here is good hygiene. When we think about the generation that our seniors and our loved ones were raised in, they did not bathe every day. You know how many times they bathed per week? They would bathe one time per week. Do you know what day of the week they would bathe? On Saturday. You know why on Saturday? Because they have church on Sunday. So why are we aggravating them about taking a bath, submerging in water every day? Because in our minds, people should wash every day. Yeah, that's if they don't have dementia or cognitive loss and they just really don't want to do it and they're very concrete thinkers. And we got to think about the generation that's caring for our seniors with dementia or our loved ones with dementia. The average caregiver is 49 to 50 years of age. That is the average age of the American caregiver. That generation don't know nothing about bathing one time a week, right? It's every day you're bathing. But you don't want to force them. You can't force them because if you physically force them into the bathroom or wherever to bathe, that could be construed as abuse. If they become injured or bruised, you could be charged with abuse. So you don't want to physically force them to do anything. So let's try not aggravating them about bathing every day of the week. Don't want to do that. Number two, what mode or method are you making available to them to bathe? Is it them getting in the shower? Because all you have at your house is a shower and your mom or dad live with you. Well, let's think about it again. They're very concrete thinkers. When you get in that shower, where is the water coming from? The water is coming from top, it's coming overhead, and that is very scary. Almost could feel like they're drowning. So that is a scary mode or method of bathing for them. And you say, oh, well, dad would take a shower every day, every morning, every night. It was a non-issue. He enjoys taking a shower. Well, clearly he does not enjoy taking a shower because every time you're trying to put him in the shower or coerce him into getting in the shower, you get cussed out. You might get knocked up. They may start with aggressive outbursts because they don't want to do it, right? Also, if that water and the rays of water are hitting them on their skin, it could be very painful for them. That's another reason why they may not want to bathe because the offering is a shower. Also, to think about when you take a shower. While the water is running, over you and it's warm, it feels really good. But once you cut that water off in that shower, it gets what? It gets cold. And y'all already know our seniors don't play that. They do not play being cold. They don't like being cold. They don't want to be cold. They're not going to be cold. right? Many of you have older loved ones who don't have dementia. You walk up in their house, I don't care if it is the heat of spring, that heater might be on because my grandma had a little pallet heater. That heater was always on year round. They like it warm because they're cold natured. So you think about the temperature in the bathroom. If you're trying to offer them to take a bath in the tub, how deep is the tub? Are they afraid to get in the tub? Do they feel like they're going to fall? The bathroom is a very scary place for anybody to fall. There's sharp edges, porcelain, and so they may be afraid to get in the tub. And when we think about that generation, how did they bathe back in the day? There weren't any showers back then. We're talking about what, 50s, 60s. There weren't, big sauna like bathtubs in a bathroom. They were bathing in the foot tub. Now, I don't know how somebody's big old body could fit in a foot tub, but that's how they bathe. And so, what you're offering them is unfamiliar to them. I know you're saying, but they always bathe. Mom loves to bathe. She would take hours in the bathroom just soaking. That is before dementia. Now they have dementia and they're reverting to previous life's patterns. They're associating what they should be doing in their life with the moment in their life that's in their mind. So you really have to meet them in their mind and meet them in the moment. You have to know the year your loved one was born and the years that in which they were raised. So that way you know what to offer them, because you want to offer them something that's familiar in the time that they can actually relate to in that year. So they don't want to do it. It's too many steps involved in the traditional bathing that you're talking about. They don't want to take a shower because the rays are hurting their skin. The water is coming overhead and it's very scary and it's cold. You want to offer them a foot tub. That is familiar to them. You only want to offer them to bathe a couple of times a week because that's what they're accustomed to, where they are in their mind. Again, meeting them in their mind, meeting them in the moment. You also want to warm the bathroom up. The bathroom needs to be really, 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 really toasty. Now, it might be too hot for you, but if you know anything about caring for someone with dementia, it ain't about you. It's no longer about you because you have a fully functioning, accommodating mind. You can change, you can accommodate, you can go with the flow, you can pivot. They can't. They're trying to hold on to the very core of independence and the familiarity that they have. And so it takes us to help them through that, right? And so you want to make things available that they may be able to identify with in order to accomplish a particular goal.